All right, with Joey, Joey Medina is back on the podcast. Two Italians talking. Matthew and Joey. Where on the boot are you from? Where's your
Actually,
family from?
I'm all the way in Puerto Rico. Everybody, because I'm from the Bronx, New York, so a lot of people
No, but
think
where like origins of it on the boot? We're on in Italy. Where's your family from?
I don't know. That's my great grandmother's stuff.
Oh, real? Okay.
Yeah, but but the Bronx, that's like the middle of everywhere.
Yeah. Well, the Bronx is yeah. So does that make you a Yankee fan then?
Yeah, by law, I have to be.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Toronto, so I'm a hardcore Jays fan. So
Cool, cool.
we bested
I,
you last year.
I like Toronto. I've only been there once, but I really had a great time, and it actually reminded me of New York a lot.
It did. I guess Toronto would be a combination of Chicago and New York, but
Hmm.
New York is its own life form, right? So
No.
it's hard to compare New York with any other country, at least from my perspective, right? So
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've traveled all over the world, and
yeah,
been all over Australia, Europe, Asia, and although many of those places are absolutely beautiful, but New York is New York. It's like there's no
yeah,
other place like New York.
there isn't. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to live there for a year, so yeah,
Oh, okay,
I,
cool.
I went to school there. So I lived in Brooklyn, but you're a Bronx
Oh,
guy,
nice.
and I
Brooklyn's good.
became a surrogate Met fan for
Yeah,
that year, which I
nice.
still am. But I would never ever be a Yankee fan ever in a million years. Yeah, that's like my anti-team. So here it
Okay.
happened last October.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about Roxy and the Man. Okay, the love story between a dog and its owner, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a story that's been told many times in different
Yeah.
ways, right? Um, the difference with this story is it's actually it became real, you know. Um, uh, when I first wrote the script, it was called Buddy and the Man, and um, and that was just the story was the same, nothing changed. I had two people who read the script at a festival and loved it and asked if they could help me produce it, and they financed it. Silva and Michael Marchi, and they along with um, Passions and Dreams Foundation, they got the money together and made the film happen. But as I'm looking for the right dog for the film,
Yeah.
um, it was getting harder and harder, and we were getting closer and closer to shooting. And around that time, my dog Roxy was pretty not doing well. She was sick. She had a growth on her lung, a mass on her lung, and if anybody ever worked with dogs before, and I have, dogs don't know how to act. They only do what they know how to do,
Sure.
whether you taught them or whatever. And when I wrote this, I wrote it with that in mind, knowing that, I don't want the dog to do too much, but they had to do some things. And I knew what Roxy was capable of. And I'm like, you know what? I want to make this movie with Roxy. So I changed the script a little bit to fit her conditions, um, and she became the star of the film, and she killed it. She did so well. She did everything almost on one take. Paul Rodriguez, who was the lead actor,
Yeah.
not so much. There are a few takes with
Oh, you're
him.
saying the dog bested Paul in the acting
Yes,
department.
absolutely.
Has it
Paul did a
received
great
any?
job, though.
Has Roxy received any acting nominations on the festival circuit?
No, she's not yet. But I did submit to a few festivals that are pretty much dog friendly. So I
Yeah.
want her to win because she really does deserve it. She did a great job. And but right after we wrapped, Roxy passed away 2 weeks after
Oh,
wrapping. So that's why this story is so, it's like the real life and the fictional life
yeah.
kind of combined and it kind of became real. I had to take 2 weeks off from editing because it broke my heart um, cutting this film with her in it. But
That's it. But she's there forever now, right?
yeah,
Roxy's there
she will
forever,
last.
right?
She will last forever now through this. She did a great job, and this sounds cliche and
Yeah.
weird, but I really think she knew she was doing something for me. her Roxy and I wasn't she wasn't just a dog.
Yeah,
Like we literally were like father and daughter. And she I see this film as her gift to me,
that's
that
great.
she left. And
You
and I
don't
love
know, right? Like you don't know what the dog, like what dogs, the superpowers dogs have, right?
oh no, and dogs are they're a lot wiser than we think.
I was dog sitting a few months back, and I got to know this dog. I used to go for walks with it like every day for about 2 months, and I was like, yeah, the dog's got something else happening here. Like
Yeah.
there's like I don't like it's like we all because we're all human, so we're all narcissists, so we all think
Yes.
that there's a comparison to us, but no, I think there's a new sense or there's something there's they're picking up on stuff that we don't pick up on. And
Yeah.
I think I think our eyes lead our senses, if that
Right.
makes sense. But I think their nose, their smell
Oh
leads
yeah,
them.
I forgot what the I forgot the exact number, but it's like 200,000 times stronger than our
Think
senses.
about that. That's how crazy that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
two
why they
hundred
can
thousand.
smell
Yeah,
disease. They can smell disease on us. They
yeah,
can smell stress. They can smell fear, and anytime, I mean, there are dogs that are trained to know when someone's gonna you know, faint or whatever condition they have, if they're gonna they have epilepsy or something,
yeah.
and they
Of
warn
course. Yeah,
them.
yeah,
That's how powerful their senses are.
yeah. Oh, yeah. They definitely are leading something. Yeah. So I remember being like stressed out, and the dog would. Yeah, the dog would
Yeah, they
definitely
know.
pick up on that.
Yeah.
It would give you this look, right?
Hmm.
It's like you're human. You got your life is made. What are you worrying about?
I know. You can pick up your own poop.
Yeah, yeah. Now pick up my poop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or just leave it there. They're like, just leave it there. Why are you picking it up? It's like it's part of society, right? All right.
Yeah.
So, but I was listening. I was watching your film, and I was talking to somebody who was Italian yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and she brought up like she's what Latinos and Italians are very very similar,
Very much
and
so.
she was talking about it, and I'm like watching your film this morning again, and I'm like it got reminded because it's like your character wakes up in the morning and he's got the religious artifacts, right?
Right.
And then what was I get? That was his picture of him boxing, right?
Yeah, he was the the character Jesus Ramirez. He was a former professional boxer.
Yeah,
He was a Vietnam veteran, and he won a Purple Heart. And on that dresser are the things that are most important to him.
yeah,
His religion, right? Which is he's Catholic. He's born Catholic.
yeah,
Um, Picture of his wife who passed away. A picture of him fighting, and his Purple Heart, and a picture of him in uniform.
yeah.
And um, and now that his wife is gone, he's just looking at the watch, looking at his watch, going, all right, when his time's over. So when he gets diagnosed with this cancer, he thinks, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm ready to go. He has no fear of death, and
It's
and
like
he has
he's lost.
actually no
He's already
purpose.
lost his wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like so, yeah.
and he has no purpose in life. He's
Yeah,
kind of
the
just,
boxing days are over, right?
yeah,
So
everything's done for him.
yeah, and then he finds a dog. That's the seed, right? And the
Yeah,
dog kind of
yeah,
like
and it's
helps him
reluctantly,
while he helps the dog.
and he does it reluctantly because his daughter forces him to
Yeah.
adopt a dog. So he's like, fine, fine, I'll do it. Then he ends up falling in love with this dog.
Was the daughter character was she pregnant in real life or is that just
No,
for
no, that was fake. That
yeah.
was fake pregnancy.
But it looked real to me. So
Thank
good
you.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we bought an actual prosthetic for that. So it's
Gotcha. How do you
we
get
didn't
one of
take a
those?
pillow and a shirt.
Is that what you just got a pillow and a shirt? Because
No,
is
no,
that
no, we didn't do that. That's why we actually bought a prosthetic that fits around her body to make her
yeah.
look pregnant.
So what I'm saying is that you can buy stuff like that,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to make it, as a director, I didn't want it. If it was like a pillow, it would have been light, and she wouldn't have walked out. It had weight to it. It had depth to it, so it
Yeah.
felt like she was carrying something. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing if you're gonna have a scene with a prop gun and the guy's shooting it. A lot of times you look like there's no kick, there's nothing because it's plastic. There's really
Yeah.
no kickback. So when you're directing a film, that has things like this, you want to you got to remember to add those elements in there by, either directing the actor or giving them something that they can make it look real.
Yeah. Has someone mentioned this that Paul, the actor, and the dog have the same face?
Yeah, nobody, sometimes they can't figure out which one's which.
No, but they have a very similar look to them.
Yeah, they were both hungry all the time.
Oh, is that what you starved them on set? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course. That's my
yeah,
no, they it was I've known Paul, I'm also a stand-up comic. I've toured over. That's when I went to Toronto. I was performing there.
yeah,
And but I've known Paul really well. I know what he's capable of. When I wrote the script, I actually wrote his character with him in mind. So the humor that he does have in the script, I wrote it for him because that's basically him. I know his voice and I know how his mannerism, and so that was a one of the benefits of working with somebody you know.
yeah. So yeah, because you worked with them previously, right? In the
Yeah.
previous films.
Yeah. I directed him in films and we worked together as stand-up comedians.
So where? Okay, so then that's your origin story. Is that, and then you just did you? When did you kind of approach him? Like, cause he was in Meet Lost Parents, right?
Yeah. No, he wasn't in Meatloaf's Parents. He was in Paul was actually in my first feature I made called El Matador.
Okay.
Meatloaf's Parents, the girl and Stuart, her husband, were both boyfriend and girlfriend in Meatloaf's Parents.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they were both in there.
So you guys were the original Latin. This is on your Instagram page. But the original Latin Kings of
That and
Comedy.
Kingdom Comedy, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We shot that was a Paramount movie, believe it or not. It's stand up. It was in the theater first. So that was pretty unique, especially in the times.
So do you still do stand up now?
Oh yeah, yeah. I perform all over. I go to Phoenix next, I believe. I was just in Hobbs, New Mexico. Don't look
What's your
back.
act about right now? How many minutes you got?
I'm very observational, relationships, this, that.
Yeah.
Um, anything that I find funny, I just throw out there.
Do you stay away from politics? You try to be like on the
No,
fence.
I, I stay away from politics for the most part. I'll dabble over maybe one or two little things that I can't resist, so I have to just let it out there. But
Yeah.
I really don't talk about politics. I mean, politics now are just it's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's
seems to be like that seems to be the popular comics are now talking about politics these days,
yeah.
right?
I mean, but the thing is, it's really you can't do politics now neutral. You really can't.
No, you
It's
can't.
you're on one
100%.
side or the other. You
Yeah.
know.
Like back in
And,
the day,
and,
like SNL or Johnny Carson would be able to make fun of anybody, and he didn't.
right,
Nobody would call him out for his political ideology. He was just
right,
making fun of people in power positions. That's what he was
right.
doing now, right?
But now it's I mean
Yeah.
now people do take sides, but it's I mean it's so obvious. It's like I'm sure there's someone in the world out there going, "Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer, he used to walk me across the street. I'm a little like, but it's still Jeffrey Dahmer, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's yeah, so I know Canada is not a big Trump fan, and trust me, there's not a lot of Trump fans here either.
Well, you did elect them though, right? So,
Well, no, I think that was rigged.
oh no, you're jumping on that conspiracy? I don't think so.
I just think that I don't know if there's that many stupid people. So
I think there is. I think that people are very like they'll vote for what their best interests are, and the
yeah.
Democrats didn't make a platform that made people best interests. They're like, okay, let's give this guy one last chance.
But you know
And
the thing though,
yeah,
this is why I say it. He said more than once. He goes, "Well, if we didn't fix this election, we would have lost." And also, um, um, what's his name? Um,
Joe Biden.
no, no, Elon Musk.
Yeah,
He did something, and he talked about like connecting with like computers
yeah,
in the in the
yeah,
voting booths and all that. And I'm like, if he knows, if anybody can rig computers, it's going to be him. Now, I'm
Yeah,
not saying that happened. I don't want to be a conspiracist, but I just don't trust that Trump would just leave things to chance. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well,
If
no, because
anyone,
I think he would, if he lost, he would have just said, "Well, it was rigged again," right? And
yeah,
then like, he would jump on that talking point and basically create a TV channel or whatever, right? Like and then his followers would follow him. I don't think he really wanted the job. It just like I think he'd rather just say that he lost and and it was rigged. It's a better talking
and
point. But that's
yeah,
my
but
yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, trust me, I'm going to look for apartments in Canada.
Yeah. Well, if we take you, right? So,
Yeah, if you take us, right? I don't blame you guys now.
yeah. Who would have thought that? I'm from Niagara Falls. I would never thought in a million years Canadians and Americans would have some sort of conflict. I didn't see
Yeah,
that
it's
one coming. That
ridiculous.
wasn't on my bingo card.
Everybody, every ally he doesn't like, and every enemy or bully
Yeah.
country, dictator country he likes. Isn't that
Well,
weird?
I don't know if you know this, but he helped the Canada out because the Conservatives were up by about 20 points, and our election was 6 months after yours.
Uh-huh.
And then Carney, who is like he's a Democrat or liberal, but he's more of a centralist, right?
All
And
right.
he's white and male, and it's like, and basically he was like so neutral, and people just voted for him because it was like
Yeah,
they
that
saw
makes
what
sense.
Trump was already doing. They're like, I'm not voting for this conservative because
Yeah,
Poilier, well, the guy, the conservative guy, was kissing Trump's ass, and the
right, right.
Canadians were like, we're not electing this guy. So he was up 20 points and he lost. He ended up losing.
Yeah, that just
And so
shows
but
that
if it
people
wasn't for
like,
Trump, that he would be our prime minister right now.
yeah, I agree.
So that's what
Hey,
happened. And so everything kind of fits and sells. All right, so I want to get back to your film because
okay,
basically
yes.
you're on your way. So you obviously had this job as a comedian. So what got you into making movies? Why did you start directing films?
Believe it or not, I got into filmmaking in fifth grade. Um, had a teacher that showed our class. He had a Super 8 film, no sound, just
Yeah,
Super 8 film that he made the class the year before, and he screened it for us. And I remember my jaw dropped, thinking, I want to do that. I don't know what that's called, but I want to make little movies like this. So in seventh grade, I bought a stolen um, camera, Super 8 camera, a screen, and a projector from my shop teacher, and I made my first little movie in seventh grade. And it was like a King Kong parody. And then, back then growing up, it was all film. There was no video. So there's no real inexpensive way to make movies. So I became a boxer. I was doing other things, but filmmaking was always in my mind. And
yeah,
then when I moved to Los Angeles because of stand up, I wrote my first script, and I wrote my first script to put myself in it. But as I was writing it, I realized I was thinking like a director. I'm like, I'm not this role. I can't play. I don't want to play this role. I can't. So I just decided I'm going to direct it. And I had a friend who went to film school, and he had good credit, and we shot this film on Super 16, and that's it. I made the film for like 15 grand. It was my first film ever. It was a feature, and I sold it for 25, so it made a profit. And then slowly after that, I started doing more and more production and working on TV a little bit, doing some other things, and making my short films. And the reason I make a lot of short films is because I can afford to make them. I can't afford to make a feature by myself, but I
yeah,
could easily make you know, this film, Roxy The Man, is the most expensive short film I've made, but most of my short films are around $2,000 range.
yeah. But you said you got funding for this one. You up getting funding for this one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that funding for it. So, the budget we had was 15,000, and I came in under because I'm a professional, and and we even had to add an extra day because of a location problem, but we still came under budget, and you know, I think it looks pretty decent.
Yeah, it looks great. No, I like this film a lot. And so like you're just going to festivals and you're getting and it's like and You're just getting awards and like. Wait, I'm assuming you want to make another feature though, right?
Oh yeah, actually, I've got feature scripts I've written that hopefully I get done, but I have
Yeah,
other I have people talking to me about directing their features. So yeah. So I mean, a feature is really what I want to do. But the I have so many ideas that I turn them into a short just because I have ADHD and I just need to make something. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like the Meet Los Parents, that film. I just was at a supermarket and I'm looking at the Tapatio bottle and the Cholula bottle with the people and I'm like, oh, imagine if they were dating and would they have a baby? Like I just started thinking this stupid
yeah.
stuff and I'm like, I'll just shoot that. I wrote it and shot it and that was it. It was
So you
fun.
made like according to IMDb, you've made 11 short films to date,
Yeah, I think two of them
or
are actual pilots, like sitcom single camera pilots, but the rest are shorts. Yeah.
gotcha. I like the one you did last year. We can let Arthur Avenue,
Arthur Avenue. Yeah, I
and
love Arthur
you
Avenue.
kind of showed like Italian mobsters meets the LGBTQ community. That's how I would pitch your film, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea. I like that film a lot. I was like, I hope this like I'm watching the film and I'm like, because I see a lot of shorts, obviously. I'm like, I hope this hits because I love the idea, and it did. Or Arthur Avenue.
Yeah, it did well.
That's
And
a
I
great
think
idea.
some of it actually, and you guys, I don't remember, I don't know who it was specifically, but it was your festival that gave
Yeah,
me the I like an idea. It was basically you guys said that it needed something more in the beginning. It needed something else.
like in
And
the
I
script itself.
Yeah, in the script. I think it was just the
Oh,
script I
okay.
sent
So like the
first.
feedback you got because you submitted the script first,
Yeah. I,
right?
I submitted the script first.
Okay.
And then I'm
Yeah.
thinking, nah, it's fine. But I think you know what? Yeah, I think they're right. It needs an extra little something. And that's when I put Roxy in that movie. Roxy is in Arthur Avenue. So what I did was in the beginning, originally, all they did was talk about some racist stuff. And then that's when
Yeah.
the gay couple comes in. But then I added that they talk about the racist stuff, but they have to deal with who's going to walk Roxy. And so I gave it a little, I made the beginning a little longer. I added Roxy, a different character. And you guys were right. It worked. It was better that way. So
Yeah.
that's the
It
version
was.
I shot.
So, any of these shorts have features like in them? Like, do you have like a feature version of them or no?
Yeah, almost all, well, I haven't written them, but they're all
Okay.
based on features. So what I do is I just condense in my mind, I condense the feature
Yeah.
into basically one scene, but with three acts.
Gotcha. So that was Jessica Shin who did your coverage. I was
Oh,
looking at
okay.
it. Yeah, she's
Okay.
pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she was right. She was correct.
Yeah.
And at first I fought it mentally. I was like, no, no, no.
Sure.
But then I'm like, you know what? I kept on thinking. I kept on thinking. I'm like, she's right. Damn it. So when I was ready to shoot it, I rewrote. I added that extra stuff to the scene.
I'll make sure I'll let her know that then, because
Yeah,
she,
please.
funny enough, she still works for us. Yeah, I think you said that was like 2 years ago. That coverage it was like over 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, tell her she did. She was correct. And everything with the dog was because she didn't suggest a dog, but suggested that it needed something else in the beginning
yeah.
to be a
So
little
that's a
longer.
good idea. Because all these have features in them. Because your guy Paul, like Roxy, he could carry a feature film. I know
Oh,
it.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
He's
Paul, I
got
mean,
it in him.
Paul just did a film called Holy Cash, and I was consulting producer on that, post-production supervisor, and technically co-director, but I'm just in the
Okay.
end credits and co-director. But what I did was he made this film, and he didn't like the way it was put together. He didn't like the people he worked with, I think. Um, the director walked off, a whole bunch of stuff. So he came to me afterwards. I looked at the version and I told him what I thought. So he hired me and my editor to work together, and we recut the film in 2 months. We recut the whole film, changed the story a little bit, but I had to work with whatever he had, right? So we went through all the footage, all the everything, and I thought I did a pretty good job with what I had, and it ended up getting picked up by AMC. It was limited release, but it got picked up with AMC, and that was all because of all the work that I put into it. And he even acknowledges it. He made me a little video to thank me, and I'm like, oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Cool.
So he's already done it then. He's proved that.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. He's
yeah.
done other movies too.
Yeah.
He, he's guy's been around forever.
No, I remember him. I remember him. Yeah. I don't want to age him, but I remember him as a kid. And I'm not a young man. So
Oh
he's
yeah,
been
he's
around
in
for a
his
long time.
70s. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm 50. So basically,
Uh,
so I remember, like I said, I remember when I was a kid. So yeah. So like, so you've known him for a long time. I'm one who assumes, right?
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it
All right.
always
So
helps working with friends.
what story do you want to do? If I ideally, like say I have $5 million to give you, what film would you what film would you want to direct? What feature film would you want to direct? What
To
story?
be
What would
honest,
the story be?
I love dramas, but I'm a comedian at heart. I I wrote a script called Wet Bacula, and it is a parody of Blackula. You're
Okay.
cutting out,
Okay.
but that's a film I would like because as a comedian, I hate when people say you can't make this kind of film anymore. You can't make Blazing Saddles, History of the World. You can't make these
We need those films.
exactly,
We need
and
we have to make fun of ourselves again, right?
exactly, and
Yeah.
that's what Wet Bacula is. Wet Bacula
Yeah.
is exactly what you think it is, and it's
Yeah.
I hit up every stereotype you could think of in it. It is my Wet Bacula would be my Blazing Saddles, and it's so ridiculous that if you're offended, you're an idiot. That's how
Yeah.
ridiculous it is. So
Well,
that's
you're
I
allowed to
love.
make those jokes, right?
Yeah, I just want to make a film that we can just go to the theater and go, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. That's funny. That's crazy. Like, what was it? Um, Tropic Thunder was like that. Tropic Thunder was an amazingly funny movie and
Yeah.
well done, and it was ridiculous. That's why it was so funny.
Well, yeah. Nobody can ever be blackface again. Let's put it that way, right? So,
Yeah, see, but that's the thing, though. Why not? Like, I just think
yeah.
I think anything can be done or anything
Yeah.
can be talked about, but it just has to be done the right way.
You know what I was watching? I was watching Trading Places. Remember that movie?
Oh
And
yeah.
Dan Aykroyd's blackface in that in the end of that movie too,
Oh, I didn't remember that.
because him and
Wait,
Murphy were like pulling a con, right? Yeah,
oh,
he
that's right.
pretends he's Jamaican. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
yeah.
And
No, it's just like never. Well, it can never happen now, right? So,
no, never say
but
never.
I'm
No,
not advocating blackface. It was like yeah, yeah.
right. But I mean, there's a purpose for
So,
everything. I did a film called Beautiful Violence, right? And in that film, it's only two characters in the entire film. The white character uses the N word several times. Um,
yeah,
but there's a reason for it. It's part of the story, and it's
yeah,
I'm not glorifying the N word. I wasn't using it nilly willy. It was for a reason. Um, and thank
yeah,
God, the majority of people who watched the film understood it. And I even took extra steps in the story to make sure that they knew the character who was saying it wasn't a racist person. He was doing it for a specific reason. And
yeah.
that was important to me. And I let anytime I write something, whether it has to do with a gay character, it has to do with racism, it has to do homophobia, anything like that, I always let other people read it. I let it has to do with racism. I let my my black friends or Latino friends or whatever read it. If it
Yeah.
has to do with um, homophobia, I let my gay friends read it because I want to see their angle. I want to see if they get what I'm saying. If I'm wrong, then I will fix it. But if not, then I'm like,
Mhm.
good, thank you. And like with Arthur Avenue, it has to do with the LGBTQ community. It's won several awards, and especially with some LGBT festivals. They got it. They get it. They just don't look at it and go, "Oh well, they're being homophobic." Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're supposed to be homophobic. That's the character. When you watch a movie about World War II, those people are really not Nazis. They're playing a role. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah. Yeah. Of
some
course.
people just don't get that.
But they have to play a good Nazi. If you're playing a Nazi, you got to play. You got to be a Nazi. You can't play a half
Yeah,
a Nazi, right?
you got to be
Yeah.
you got to have people feel what you want them to feel,
Yeah.
whether it's fear, hatred, whatever it is. You've got to be convincing. I mean, unless it's
But that
Hogan's
makes the
Heroes.
that makes the hero. Let's assume that the Nazis are not the heroes in the film. That makes the
Right?
hero even stronger. The more evil the Nazi is, the more stronger the audience resonates to the hero, right?
Of
So
course, of course.
yeah,
And
you got to set up both points, right?
life isn't that simple. Life is very complicated. There's not,
Yeah,
and look at my films. There's never really a good guy, bad guy. They both can be bad guys. They both can be good. There's always something going on, and it's because in real life
yeah,
that's the way things are. And I try to mimic real life situations when I make my films.
yeah. Well, you're on it. I just wanted because Paul, your main actor, I remember him in an episode. I was rewatching The Golden Girls.
Mhm.
He was in an episode of The Golden Girls,
Yeah,
and but Born in East LA, which I love. He was in Born in East LA,
right, right.
right?
Yeah,
So
that was one of his breakout
right,
films.
and
A
yeah,
Million
yeah,
to One. He
because
did A Million to
it's
One.
still a good film. I like it.
Yeah,
What's that?
he did A Million to One.
So yeah, a million
He
to one. But I just that's remember. I remember in Blood Work, right?
Yeah, Blood Work with that was Clint Eastwood directed that.
Clint Eastwood, yeah,
Blood Work,
Clint
yeah.
Eastwood, right? And then I remember the voice in because my kids were just watching it the other day or a couple of weeks ago. The Beverly Hills Chihuahuas.
Oh
he's in
yeah,
the he's
yeah,
he's the voice in that movie too. Yeah,
yeah. And he also, I think, did
talk about a movie that
What's that big? There's a big giant dog movie, or
Clifford.
yeah, I think
Clifford.
he's in Clifford. Yeah, I think he was in Clifford as well.
It's either Clifford or Marmaduke. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But he's in
and
Ali. He's in Ali, right? Like he's in the Michael Mann
yeah, he was
film.
in Ali. He played the
Yeah,
sports doctor. Yeah,
like,
Freddie Pacheco.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
I'll give
remember.
him credit in this film when he read the script, he volunteered for the role. I didn't pay Paul anything. Paul
Yeah.
did the role
So
for
he's still
free.
getting the. To be fair, he's getting the Beverly Hills Chihuahua money, right? He's
Yeah,
getting
he's
that
he's
money.
doing
The
well.
check's coming in the mail every week, right, from
Yeah, yeah,
Chihuahua.
he does
So
he
he
does
doesn't
well.
need. You don't need to pay him, right?
Yeah, he's definitely doing better than I am.
So that's awesome. Well, so what about you? Are you gonna act in? Your own film?
Pardon me?
Are you gonna act in one of your own films? Are you gonna
Oh yeah,
write,
actually,
direct, and star
a
in
lot
one?
of people ask me that. I never put myself in my
Yeah,
own films, believe it or not.
I know. Yeah.
And everybody asks me, so I'm going to start putting myself in. I'm going to do a little cameo in every film I make now.
Oh, like Hitchcock? You can do like a Hitchcock
Yeah,
move.
there you go. I'm just going to pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be
People
fun.
don't know because people are under 30 or whatever. Hitchcock,
Right.
every movie he was in, he had a cameo. He made a cameo in every movie he directed. So
And it's good to do it. But to be honest, it just shows that I'm not a narcissist because a lot of actors make movies just to put themselves in.
sure. Well, I
The
think they're
movies
writing
suck.
for themselves, right? They're
Yeah,
writing a role
yeah.
for themselves. Yeah,
And the movie's usually not that good, but they want to just
yeah,
star in it, right?
yeah.
So I did one project. I did a sitcom pilot called Man of a Funny Age, which actually won a lot of awards as well. And I starred in the whole thing. But that's because it was based on me and everything, so I had to. But it's a lot of extra work when you have to direct yourself.
Gotcha. Well, Joey, thank you so much for everything. We're showing a few of your films. I love it, and we'll always show your films of yours.
Thank you. And
I
I
love
will
what you're
always
doing.
submit to you guys
Yeah.
the feedback, all that stuff is just invaluable. I love it. I need it. You guys are fair, and I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you too. So keep making movies, and let's talk when you make your next film.
You got it, buddy. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Goodbye, everybody.